Let's talk now about the Republican side. Super Tuesday. Is Donald Trump going to win this thing? I actually started feeling one way about this yesterday, and this morning, after a more sober and nuanced analysis of the data, which I always like to do, my views have shifted back. So let's start with the results from yesterday. Alabama, Trump wins. Alaska, Cruz wins barely. Arkansas, Trump wins barely. Georgia, Trump wins. Massachusetts, Trump kills. I mean, Lewis, we didn't talk to a single Trump voter yesterday. We couldn't find him. But clearly, half of Republicans, just under half of Republicans in Massachusetts, voting for Donald Trump. In Minnesota, Rubio won. That's the big headline. Marco Rubio finally winning a state. Hasn't won a single thing so far. He's given 5 victory speeches. Hasn't won a single thing until yesterday. Oklahoma, it was Ted Cruz. Tennessee was Trump. Texas was Cruz, as expected. At least he carried his home state. Not his home country, by the way. He's from Canada, but his home state in the United States. Vermont was a Trump state. And Virginia, Donald Trump eking out a victory. So let me sum it up for you. Trump wins 7 states on Super Tuesday. Cruz wins 3 states on Super Tuesday. And Rubio finally wins a state, the Minnesota caucus, bringing his total number of wins to 1 win. How about the delegates? What do the delegates look like? The Republicans need 1,237 delegates to secure the nomination. Now, here is where my views started changing about what is happening with Donald Trump. Because of the proportional allocation of delegates so far, Trump has 315 delegates. That gets him to 25% of where he needs to be to secure the nomination. Ted Cruz has 205 delegates, and that puts him at 17% to goal. And then Marco Rubio, with 106 delegates, is at 9% to goal. This is actually still relatively close, Lewis, even though there has been this feeling that Donald Trump is the inevitable nominee. And he may be the nominee, depending on what happens at the convention, depending on how long this goes on. But Ted Cruz is winning states, so even when we get to the winner-take-all states, Cruz can still get victories, and he would get all of the delegates in those states. And when you look at the delegate totals, 17% to goal and 25% to goal, that's still a real race that's going on the Republican side.
Yeah, I mean, closer than Bernie and Hillary right now. So it's, I guess Cruz is not out. Kind of scary, but we'll see what happens.
The online news world is getting pretty cluttered with lots of nonsense. There's the so-called news sites that rewrite news articles, and then there's the websites we all know that we just can't trust. So lately, I've been reading Smashpipe, which is an online magazine whose goal is to surprise, amuse, and tell readers things they don't already know on a wide range of topics in current events and culture. Smashpipe is less interested in trending topics than in what's actually going on, and Smashpipe has no ads whatsoever other than the reader-generated classified ad section, and they never will. Smashpipe is what happens when you, on a bad day, stub your toe on the miseries and mysteries of life. Check it out at